Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids, and this is an HD video test on the Canon PowerShot S100. Now I've got the camera sitting around about 4 feet away from me. Everything on the camera is set to auto. There's no level controls for the audio, so what you're seeing is just me speaking at normal volume. And I've got very poor lighting in the studio at the moment, so no lighting on at all, and it is quite an overcast day. It's terrible weather outside. So what I'm going to do now is introduce some lighting to the video. So now we've got one overhead light on in the studio, and that's positioned more or less directly above the camera itself, and it should be at least casting some light down onto me. So now I'm going to add one more light, which is one of my studio lights. So now I've added on one of those very high power studio lights, and you should see the picture gradually improving as I'm introducing more and more lights to the studio. Now don't forget the Canon PowerShot S100, I've got it set to everything automatic, so it's automatic white balance as well. I'm going to do one last thing, which is add in 2 more side lights to the studio. So now I've added in 2 Rotolight LED lights to both the right hand side of me and also to my left, and that should have just created a little bit of fill-in light. You might not see too much of a difference in the actual video. What I'm going to do now is actually show you some products being recorded with the Canon PowerShot S100, so you can see how it performs if you're perhaps a YouTuber and you create product reviews. So here we go, I'm going to start the product section of this video off with no lighting on again, so you can see these 2 products, and this is with no lights at all on in the studio. Let's see how it copes with moving the product further away and closer to the lens. It's very quick to focus, very good performance on the focus. And then again on this watch, let's just move this in closer. And again a very good performance with very minimal natural lighting coming into the room. So now let's introduce that one overhead light. So now we have got one overhead light on in the studio. And again, let's just move these around a little bit and see how it copes with doing product reviews. Very good on the white balance, and don't forget this is auto white balance as well. I did notice that when I switched the overhead light on, it did have a yellow tinge to it, but then the auto white balance kicked in and it started to look very good again. So now let's introduce that second high powered studio light. So now we've got that second studio light on and things are looking absolutely fantastic now. Let's just move this box across and let's just give it one real test. Let's move it in nice and close. Focus is nice and quick, really good job on that. I noticed it was struggling with the watch. I think that's because of the reflections coming off of the watch face. But if we get rid of the reflections again, it focuses very well indeed. So now let's add in the side studio lights. These are the 2 Rotolights, these are LED lights. I'm going to do this without pausing the video. So that's the first light turned on, and then the second light on the right hand side turned on. And you can see with both of those lights on, some of the shadows are cancelled out, and it just does a fantastic job of focusing, of white balance. Really impressed in how this will perform for product reviews. Absolutely fantastic. The only issue I have at this stage is just getting rid of the reflections on these glass surfaces so it will focus in on here, but that would be achieved by repositioning the lights rather than repositioning the subject. But certainly for things like this, absolutely fine. And let's just have one last try. Let me just move this around and see if I can get it to focus on there. It really is struggling with just the bright light reflections on the watch face. Let me grab something else. Let me try this little bottle, and you can see on here when we get it to round about sort of 6-7 inches away from the lens, it's struggling to focus, but it does eventually pull into focus, and that is about 5 inches away from the front of the lens. Let's try it a little bit closer. Try and hold it nice and still. That's round about the 3-inch distance away from the front lens, and it's still managing to pull in focus. So a really good job on the sort of product review aspect, using this for product reviews. I think the Canon S100 looks like it will perform extremely well indeed. So that's it for the HD video test on the Canon PowerShot S100. Leave me some comments below and let me know what you think of the video quality, and I will see you all in the next video.